episode of the Sweepers podcast. NFL episode 12, I think it is. I could be wrong. It'll be right in the title. But we are a little short today. Like, this isn't normal for our NFL episodes. But for now, it's just me and Casey. We could be adding another two people. But we don't know. But yeah, joined by my co-host, Casey. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. Yeah, it's weird with just us two, but this is kind of how it was at times in some of the first episodes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, obviously we've gotten really used to Carmelo being around, but he's still in high school and they just started today, so he works as well. Is that why he works after school, right? That's why he won't be available on like Mondays.
yeah, he not only works at Walmart, he like helps coaches his dad's football team, or he also
I
plays on
got
it,
you.
something like that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so with all that going on, Carmelo's gonna miss the weeknight episodes, which
Yeah, but
could be a
he
little weird without him now. We're too used to him being
yeah
around, but
yeah
it
for
is what it
sure.
is.
But we'll have him hosting one NFL episode a week, so I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this episode usually could be like the relaxed, kickback kind of episode. I mean, obviously we're gonna still talk about NFL, but I think we'll get the nastiness on Saturdays. Because, like, I don't think you watched the NBA episode. And if you guys are watching this, go watch that. But Melo got so nasty, bro. And it's just like, dog, I'm going to miss that.
I
Like,
heard.
he gets on here a week, just once a week. He's going to be nasty at all
Oh, for
episodes.
sure. He's gonna be extremely nasty.
Yes, I'm looking
Yeah, we
forward
like
to it.
that though.
I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
for
it.
sure. Me too. Me too. Me too.
Um, but yeah, no. How was are you ready to go back to college or?
Yeah, at this point, I really am. I think about some of the first things I did when I got back. Like one of the bigger ones is I went bowling with my brother. When it was like the day after he finished eighth grade, finished middle school. That was 3 months ago. It feels like it was like 6 months ago. It's been a long summer.
Yeah.
It didn't go by super quick like I thought it would. I've been doing a lot of stuff. It's been fun, and now all I'm really thinking about is getting back on the field with seeing my teammates and stuff, and getting back to work. But easing back into schoolwork is not going to be super fun, but like my excitement for baseball and getting back to work with teammates just like overpowers like going back to doing schoolwork. Like it's not all that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely ready to get back over there now. It's gonna obviously have to readjust to living over there and not being around family and seeing all my friends from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely ready to get back over there.
Yeah, for sure. You're still gonna be able to make the two episodes, right?
Yeah, I would not be surprised if there's things that come up to where I'm cut to like maybe one, only the weekend one.
Okay.
But in most cases, it's gonna be on my time to join in at like 10 o'clock on those weeknights. Even if I wake up early, even if I have to get up early the next morning. Like I'm fine with losing an hour or two of sleep to go on here. I mean, this has been really fun. I wouldn't just want to step down once I go back to school. As busy as I'll be, this is super fun. So
Yeah, and we're trying to
I'll
keep it.
definitely.
We're trying to. Sorry to cut you off. We're trying to keep it like near an hour anyway. So
Yeah,
an hour episode should be okay for most people.
yeah. And
Um,
even if I'm working like evenings, like I can see myself working some evenings when I'm done with practice and dinner and all that stuff, and some mornings on days where I don't have class till the afternoon.
yeah,
But I highly doubt I would still be doing anything at 10 o'clock, so I don't see why I wouldn't be able to make it.
yeah, for sure. That's good. Bet, cause yeah, I was thinking. I was like, dog, because I went back and watched episode one. First of all, it's changed a lot since. But it's just like, dog, it's been me and you and Andrew pretty much, and obviously Jonah was there for episode one, but and Andrew's missed a lot. It's mostly been me and you for every episode.
Neither one of us have missed one, man.
Yeah, so it's I really can't miss an episode, but not
Yeah.
until someone else gets a laptop. When someone else
Right.
gets a laptop, then I could take some breaks if I need to. I don't want to, but if I needed to.
Yeah, I could have missed an episode. You guys kind of saved me a couple times. I remember some cases where I was like out of town and then y'all delayed it.
Yeah,
But
because we had a shorter cast, you know.
yeah,
Like we could. I want to say we can't really. Now we can, but like a week ago we couldn't really afford to delay an episode
right.
just because we had like Mello, we had guests coming in all the time. You know, it was just a lot.
Yeah,
Now it's more of a little bit of a chill. You know.
yeah, for sure.
Um, but yeah, no. Let's hop into the NFL talk, bro. We have a good amount.
Yeah, let's do
Obviously,
it.
the stuff that we don't get into, we'll get to Saturday. Um,
Right.
but yeah, no. So the first little thing is it was a scare at first. We thought Zach Wilson tore his ACL.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, but no, it was just a torn meniscus. He's out 2 to 4 weeks, so he could be back week 2. Um,
All right.
I'm happy for it because he's. I know I was talking to you a little bit the other day, but he's also one of my quarterbacks to watch just in case. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think he could be something, bro. What are your thoughts on this, dog?
Yeah, I definitely think he could have a better season. Um, when I saw that he tore his ACL, I was like, I mean, it's like it was instant karma for him basically being a player and stuff. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I bet his ex girlfriend's laughing really hard right now. But,
yeah,
I'm glad he didn't tear his ACL because, obviously he's gotten a lot of hate and he hasn't like been very good yet. He's been toward the bottom of all the quarterbacks
yeah,
so far, but that doesn't mean he can't do something different this year. Like the Jets in general, well, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna even be contenders. Like they're not there yet. I see them winning like 6 games, maybe 7 this year, but that's still like a step forward for them.
I can see their players doing really good.
Yeah, like they have more talent this year than they've had.
Yeah.
They're gonna establish the run well, but Zach Wilson, didn't they draft a receiver first of all?
Yes, they did. It was Jamison Williams, if I'm not. No, 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 no.
Yeah,
No. It
yeah,
wasn't
he's a
Jamison.
stud.
It was Here, let me. I'll look up the name. It was a really good receiver.
Could have been the guy from Ohio State. There was a really good Ohio State guy.
Garrett Wilson. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, yeah, he's a stud. That gives him a another target, and I'm not really familiar with their receiving core, but I thought they did have like one other receiver that wasn't too bad.
They did have Crowder last year, but he went to Buffalo also. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. That's actually also scary.
Yeah, Buffalo's offense is gonna be ridiculous, but yeah, I definitely see the Jets taking a step forward this year. Like I said, I think they're gonna run the ball really well. You got 2 young running backs, including a rookie.
Yeah.
Maybe they're both rookies, but at least Brees is a rookie, and they both have a lot of potential.
One of them is a second-year player.
Okay, so yeah, but really, really young.
Yeah, yeah.
Really young running backs. As long as they stay healthy, they've got lots of potential. I think the Jets will take a step forward this year, and I think Zach Wilson can take a step forward this year.
Yeah, and that defense is also kind of good too.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
Sauce, Brian Poole, didn't he go back or did he leave?
Did he? I'm not sure.
I'm thinking the Saints at the top of my head, but I'm not 1,000% sure. Um,
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
you looking it up?
Oh, Brian Poole's going. He went to Indianapolis, so he did leave.
Okay. But yeah, no, you still got Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on some other corners that they have because I know they have another good corner. But C.J. Mosley, Quentin Richards.
Yeah, he's definitely not bad. Yeah.
Like they have some really good pieces, bro.
Yeah, they do, man.
Obviously, they're not Super Bowl contenders, but
No, not. Probably won't even make the playoffs or really.
yeah,
I probably won't. Like I'd put the ceiling at 7, 8 wins for the Jets, but after that, they might be able to push for a winning record next season if things go well this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Moving on, Alvin Kamara. We did talk about this like 3-4 weeks ago, maybe, but
Yeah.
he's not being punished anymore. It's looking like he's about to be let off scot-free and playing the full season, unless obviously he's hurt. Um, but yeah, no, he's starting week 1. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I saw that. Was it battery that he got charged with initially?
I think so.
Okay, so maybe he just he didn't kill anybody. Obviously, he might have. Maybe it was. Maybe he just threw some punches or something at somebody and had gotten a little fight, and now the NFL's saying, "All right, we don't necessarily need to suspend him for that. There's worse things you can do." I don't remember exactly what he did, but I guess good for him as long as it's fair. I mean, it must be. It's not often that NFL draws back and says, "Never mind, we're not going to suspend you." So,
Yeah.
good for him. He's a big part of the Saints' offense. They don't have all that firepower on offense like they used to. Drew Brees is gone. Michael Thomas has obviously he's has injury problems. He just now came back from his injury and was easing into training camp. Not sure if he'll even see him in week 1, but the Saints are gonna have to run the ball a lot, and it's gonna be hard for them to do that without their star running back, who can also catch out of the backfield really well. So he's a big part of that offense.
Yeah, for sure. See, I mean, it's good that he's coming back, but yeah, like you said, if it's just throwing some punches and it's fine, whatever. But if it's some actual battery stuff, like what we've been seeing the last couple weeks, it's just dog, you guys let him off scot-free? I don't think it's that just because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's good for the Saints for sure. I'd like to pick him up in fantasy, hopefully.
Honestly, yeah, that wouldn't be.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a. That's gonna be a slept on pick, I think, in fantasy if he's starting as Kamara, and then it wouldn't be too super risky.
Yeah.
To jump on that.
Yeah, I agree. There's a story that came out the other day. It was a former Patriots player ended up crashing his car to avoid being cut from the
Yeah, I saw that.
team. That's kind of crazy, bro.
That is super crazy.
I mean, I guess he's got the money for it, but man,
I know, man.
that is, yeah, that's what working for Bill Belichick does to you, bro.
Man, for real. That's crazy. I mean, you don't know. You might think that you can crash your car safely, but to me, it just seems like it's hard to crash your car purposely,
Yeah.
thinking, "Oh yeah, I'll just bump into this wall." You don't know what can happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll start spinning or another car will come into you or something like that. So that's just crazy. Is it really that deep? You could have just told him that you got caught in a traffic jam or there was another accident in front of you and caused you to get backed up. What do you got to crash your car for? That is nuts. That is so nuts. And obviously he wasn't gonna admit that. I kind of figured he had played last season or even 2 seasons ago when he came out with this, because he's not gonna say that when he's in the midst of training camp, because who's gonna see that and then just decide to cut you? Bill Belichick. So he must former Patriots player. So he's not with them anymore. He's probably unsigned. So now he might as well just come out and tell his crazy little story. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, bro.
That is such a crazy thing to do. My goodness, I've never seen any out of all the things of hearing about players being laid or freaking what's his name, freaking Hollywood Brown freaking arrested for crazy speeding trying to get down the. See stuff like that. You see like a fine for being late or blah 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 stuff like that. I've never seen anything as crazy as crashing a car purposely so you don't show up late. Like that's
Yeah.
out of any excuse. Like that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I guess if he showed up late, he wasn't gonna lose his job, but
Yeah,
just,
like well, that's what you came up with.
yeah, I
Oh, I know. I'll crash my car. I'm not going to get there and say that I got caught in another accident or something else. I'm gonna crash my car.
yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a little dumb on his part, but
Yeah.
um, moving on, we got Lamar Jackson. He came out. He said, "I want an extension, and I'm giving you until week 1 to give me it." So either expect the extension soon. If they don't give him one, maybe a holdout. I don't know. How do you feel?
Well, I'll tell you what. He's seeing Kyler Murray's contract.
Yeah.
He's seeing he's seeing that, and like remember when that one guy was like, if that's Murray's contract, Lamar needs to get the same thing right now. And we were talking about like he saw that and he's like, yeah, where's mine now then?
Yeah.
I'm better than Kyler Murray. I run better. I throw better. I've won 2 MVPs. Where's my extension that's like that, if not more? Um, Now, this is it might be a little pushy to say that by week 1, but if the team doesn't exactly like the Ravens have probably paid enough people right now. Um, you don't see extensions. I mean, that's usually in like the middle of the offseason or like in the middle of the regular season if they've seen a player do really, really well and he's on his last year. You don't really see extensions like this, like right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the Ravens will even say they're in position to just offer him a giant extension right now. They may offer him something. It may not be a giant extension yet. That's crazy. Not really crazy. I mean, you expected Lamar to want an extension and get one, but I didn't really expect him to like demand one by week 1 or else maybe potentially holding out or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I like the chaos of the league. I really do. So like me personally, I'd like him to hold out, and then them trade him. But that's like worst case scenario.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
He deserves that contract, 1,000%.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, maybe not by week 1. It's kind of weird to have a little demand, especially for a team you want to play for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, the Ravens might not be ballsy enough to offer him a contract like that. Does he deserve it? Yeah, but
Yeah,
Arizona's front office is crazy for even giving Murray that.
yeah, for sure. It's yeah, we talked about that too. Like
Yeah.
yeah, nah. Speaking, we didn't really speak of it, but Joe Burrow is back practicing. Obviously, he was supposed to be out like some weeks. We talked about this a couple episodes ago as well. But he's practicing again, so maybe we could expect him week 1. You got any thoughts?
Yeah, when we heard he was having surgery, sometimes you have to like take time to recover from that and rest. It's a slow process. Sometimes a slow process, not always, obviously, but sometimes it can be a slow process and steady process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that he was back. I saw him make a crazy throw like in between 2 defensive backs, then like in a tiny window.
Yeah.
Like it was a window similar to like that of the Roethlisberger pass to Santonio Holmes in the corner of the end zone in the Super Bowl against the Cardinals.
Dang.
It reminded me of that. It was a great throw, and I was like, yeah, Joe Burrow's back. I don't think anybody expected him to slow down. Like they're like, yeah, he's gonna have his surgery, but when he gets back, he's gonna go off. He's gonna have a season as good as last year, if not better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's, no, nobody really believes that the Bengals can get back there, back to the Super Bowl, except their fans and the Bengals. Like Joe Burrow believes that, like he wants to get back there. Like all of us are like, well, you had a little Cinderella season. Like at least you got there. You weren't supposed to. Like players look at that as, yeah, and we got there and fell short. We want to get there and win it all. Like Joe Burrow has a goal. Like, he wants to be great.
Yeah.
He's young. He sees how much potential he has. He wants to keep winning. He's used to winning anyways. He won the national championship. Now he wants rings. Like, he's gonna have a great season, I feel like, and
Oh yeah.
hopefully his offensive line doesn't make him run around for 500 yards a game and get him hurt again. But he's gonna have a good season for.
Yeah, I completely agree. Speaking of injury, and we also talked about this team a little bit earlier on. The Jets, Mekhi Becton, young left tackle or left guard, whatever. He's an offensive lineman, and he's really good. I really like him. He's out for the season. I don't necessarily remember what he got hurt for, but he got hurt. That really hurts him. But
Yeah,
they got Dwayne Brown. He's a vet, and he's actually a really good vet. He's obviously not a super young player that can develop into being really good, but
yeah,
he's a vet that's good at his job. So it's not a bad pickup. How do you feel about both of those?
yeah. Let's see, was no, I thought I saw like a lineman out with an ACL tear. I thought I saw another one with like a neck injury that's potentially like season ending. I think I think his was the neck injury one, and yeah, that sucks. Obviously he's really good. They're down a lineman now. Like maybe that hurts their running game a bit. It probably could. Like
Yeah.
losing a lineman that's really good. Like it's crazy. Like first of all, imagine Creed Humphrey got hurt for us and our backup centers in. You know how hard it's gonna be for us to do like inside run plays.
Yeah.
Like that hurts. If you lose a tackle, your outside run game to that side's probably gonna it's gonna hurt. It's gonna regress. Lose a guard or a center, your inside run game's gonna regress a bit most likely. Like losing one, two linemen can like do so much if the backup's not near as good.
Yeah.
If it was a really good player, so that really is unfortunate. They do, like you said, they do have another lineman that's good, just not that good. Like I'm not even familiar with their line besides those two. But I know how good their running backs are. I especially know how good Brees is.
Yeah.
So like maybe they'll still be able to run the ball really efficiently. I feel like they will.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like those two backs could combine for. I think they'll combine for 1,000 yards probably.
Yeah, maybe a little bit
Wouldn't
more.
be surprised. It's like I think they're gonna run the ball a lot,
Yeah.
especially if it's working. Like they'll run the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see like 1,200 probably combined.
Yeah. I didn't want to say 1,500, but I can definitely see like 1,000 plus.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so this isn't really big news, but I mean it's something. He's a receiver for the Steelers. We've talked about him a couple times, but Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
He ended up getting sued because he didn't show up to training camp. I guess he's also holding out for an extension. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we mentioned him. Steelers receivers just have some sort of knack for being crazy. We know Antonio Brown. We know Juju like to make TikToks and goof around and all that stuff. I think he's past that stage, and I'm glad he's with us.
Yeah.
But like there's just something about Steelers wide receivers. They always have some characteristic to them.
Yeah.
Claypool thinks he's one of the best receivers when he's proved really nothing. He just gets hurt.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Johnson, I thought we talked about him thinking that like he deserves a bunch of money. He's good. He's young. Like, no, he's just not like. I think he thinks he's Justin Jefferson, but he's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should pay him decent money. He's like their main receiver now. He's like their main offensive weapon.
Yeah, for sure.
Without him, their offense would just be like just give the ball to Najee all season and let him rush for 2,000 yards at that point. If you don't have Johnson, But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I guess they better work on getting him an extension. But if he expects like a big old contract, like if he expects to be paid like Devontae Adams was and all that, then that's just crazy. He's not that good. He can go try to prove himself. Maybe they won't give him one. Maybe they're gonna tell him to get his butt out there and play and make him prove himself if he wants the big money. Maybe that'll motivate him to play,
Yeah.
and prove himself. He
Yeah.
definitely doesn't deserve just a massive contract.
Yeah.
Sign him to a few years of like, I don't know, like give him like a 3-year deal, maybe a 5-year. Nothing crazy. Like I don't even know what the average receiver yearly salary is, but definitely above average, but not like crazy.
Yeah, it's weird because like I know NBA salary, like I can tell you everybody's salary and what they deserve, all of that. But NFL, I just don't understand it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's all different, man. Like it just depends on the team and the player.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No. Moving on. So, speaking of extensions earlier on, and just a minute ago, Sean McVay, he got an extension. I don't know how much he got. I don't know what it was for, but I just heard that he got an extension. I tried to find how much it was. I just couldn't find it. I don't know. But yeah, no. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, good for him. Obviously, he needed to get extended. He's a heck of a coach. He's one of the youngest coaches in the league, if not the youngest. I think he's the youngest head coach right now.
Yeah.
And if it's not him, it's Cliff Kingsbury. But he's very young,
Yeah.
and he's already like succeeding. Like he might have had one bad season with the Rams during his first year, but I mean, we've known the only McVay Rams we've known is Rams that are winning. They just couldn't quite like get to where they wanted, and then they finally did, and they won.
I don't think he even had a bad season because I think his first year was the year that him and the Rams went like head to head with us, like a 60 each, right? Or was it like 40
Oh
each?
yeah, yeah, I think so. The Rams were a damn. They went to the Super Bowl. They lost and
Yeah.
played like shit, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, McVay's a really, really great football coach. It's just crazy how good he is for how young he is. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, he's so young. Like, you don't see NFL coaches get jobs at a young age, but
Yeah.
ones that, like, for example, Bill Belichick got a coach. Like, he started off with the Browns back in the day. He was young. Look at him still coaching. I think he's been at it for almost 50 years in coaching. At least it's something. It's 40 something. I know that.
That's so crazy.
It's great. Like McVay's probably going to coach for 40 plus years in the NFL if he really wants to, and I wouldn't be surprised if by then he's like up there with
Yeah.
Andy Reid and Bill Belichick and like other notable coaches for some of the most wins in NFL history as coaches.
Yeah.
It's obviously at some point the Rams trading away all their draft picks and stuff like they've gone all in with free agents and stuff like that for the most part. Eventually, that's gonna get them like maybe screw them over a bit. But McVay's a good coach. He's probably gonna draft really well. And if the Rams have some bad dog days at some point, not anytime soon, but at some point, like maybe in like 10 years or so, I feel like he'll build them back up easily. Like you see one coach go up and down with a team all the time. Pete Carroll's gone up and down with Seattle. I mean, for the most part, they've been good, but now he's on the downside. Now he's got to build them back up.
Yeah.
I think McVay, when the Rams ever get to like a downside, I think he'll build them back up.
Yeah, for sure. I completely
Really
agree.
good coach. Like, it's crazy. You don't see coaches like that
Yeah.
at such a young age in the NFL succeeding. Like it's just crazy. He's just different, man.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. It it would be like like you said, it'd be crazy, dog. It's just I don't know. It, I could see him going to another Super Bowl for sure. Like that's like a 1,000% he'll go to another one.
Yeah, for sure. probably in the next 5 years. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know about next year. I could see them getting beat by the Buccaneers in the in the NFC Championship. I think that's what will happen.
I
But make a run again for sure.
yeah, for sure. I don't think it's next year either. I said it a couple times already on this podcast. I got Chiefs, Bucks, and Chiefs winning it.
I hope so, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, and that's whenever Tom Brady actually retires. Um, I see the future, so I know. But Deshaun Watson, he ended up apologizing to all women,
hmm
which was like, okay, bro, it's a little bit too late, but whatever. Um, I can't speak for women, so if they accept it, cool. But if they don't, then all right, yeah, I stand behind you. He went out there. Obviously, we talked about it last episode. He went out there for the start of the preseason game on Friday, and he got booed absolutely terribly, and it was horrible, bro. It was so loud, and it's just like, dog, like,
Yeah,
how do you want to play in that? But he also played absolutely miserable. Like,
yeah, he did.
I could go out there and play better QB sesh than he did, bro. Like,
Right,
come on now. Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about all that?
man. Yeah, I saw a video of his first throw. He rolled out, and the throw he would just perfectly land in the way of how Mahomes rolls out and throws dots in Houston. How he would do it in Houston. He overthrew him by a freaking mile, man. It was bad. I think he was 1 of 5 for 7 yards in his only drive. And I know Jaguars fans were chanting something at him. Lots of them were like the Jaguars, whatever turnout they had.
Yeah,
Like obviously, like they can't even. They fill like 70% of the stands for regular season games right now. It's probably half full for a preseason game, if that.
yeah.
But a lot of the ones that were there were chanting something at him. I won't remember exactly what. It was like
I wouldn't say it if it's something crazy.
it was. I know it was something about being creepy, but
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't even remember. They were calling him like a creep. I don't know, something about being like just like a. I don't even know, like just being creepy and like a predator and stuff.
Yeah,
Something to do with that.
yeah. I mean,
And honestly, W Jaguars fans, I would do it too. I'd heckle the shit out of him, man.
yeah,
And like you can apologize, but like like obviously you're just trying to like. I mean, I'm sure. I would hope by now he has regrets. I mean, why wouldn't he?
yeah, for sure.
And he wants to show that by saying sorry. But like, like they can like. I don't know how easy it is for women to say like, "Oh, it's okay." Words can say so much. Like just the fact that he even did that, like that's just like there's so many women that aren't gonna have respect for him. Like just people in general that aren't gonna have respect for him anymore.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Like you can say that, but that only does so much. Like we all know what you deserve. I think you can try to say you don't deserve it all you want. Like you should even know what you deserve at this point. Like there's no way he should even step on the football field at all this regular season. I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't. Did we talk about it? Did I'm pretty sure they solidified on the 8 year. I mean, not the 8 year, the 8 week, $5 million. Did we talk about that? I don't think we did.
I don't think so. I was hearing about that, and like, and Goodell still say no, 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 no. We're gonna still work on suspending you for a year, buddy. Like, can he still do that?
I think so, but
Because I feel like he's gonna like he's the commissioner. I think he's gonna work with like
yeah,
I think he's gonna work with like I don't know guys that are just like right below him,
yeah,
and like just kind of like say this. There's no reason he should even play at all this season. I don't even think 8 games would be enough. Like at this point, he just deserves a year with a fine.
yeah,
Like
yeah, bro.
Like as much as I used to like him, and as cool as I thought it would be to see him go out there with the Browns and get back on the field, I just can't respect the guy for what he did. I really can't, and I think he deserves a year. I don't think he deserves to play this year. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Completely. It's it's weird, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
I'd like to see him come out and say that, and then I'd also like to see Jacoby Brissett do absolutely miserable. Um,
yeah,
just so I can laugh at Carmelo. And Melo, if you're watching
right.
this and you get to this part,
Yeah, he seems to
you know, F you, bro.
really likes him.
Yeah, on God, he
Keeps
does.
talking about like he always brings up what he did in Miami. Like that's a valid point, but can he do the same thing in a full season with the Browns? I mean, I guess you just have to find out.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's yeah. I don't know, man. Moving on. We got Tom Brady. He missed 2 practices. This was like a last week kind of thing, but we didn't get to it last episode. Tom Brady missed 2 practices due to personal reasons. Um, how do you how do you feel, bro?
Well, I mean, I think it has to be pretty serious to pull Tom off the field.
Yeah,
And a person who's like, he's been doing it for a while, but like he still works.
yeah, for sure.
Like he literally, like I remember after he won the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, he got a 7-3. First seeing something about like the next week he was like out on the field like throwing to a receiver and stuff. Like he just never stops.
Yeah,
He stays hungry. Like he's so passionate about the game. That's why he decided that it wasn't actually time for him to retire yet and came back. I think it has to be pretty serious to pull Tom off the field for missed practices, and I think I saw that he won't even like be in the preseason really, at least like the first preseason game.
yeah, I can.
He obviously wasn't. Like he doesn't really need to play in the preseason anyways, but I don't. Obviously, he's not. Maybe he doesn't want to share what it is. Some people might say, "Oh, he's bullshitting because he won't tell the truth. He won't say what." This doesn't seem like Tom Brady though. You wouldn't just like. It's probably pretty serious to pull Brady off the field. Maybe somebody in his family is like suffering, or like maybe even somebody passed away. I hope not, but
Yeah,
like I would hope that's not the case. But it's probably something pretty serious. Maybe we'll find out what soon. Maybe we won't, but.
yeah,
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, it must be something pretty serious because you just Tom Brady doesn't just get pulled off the field like that.
yeah. No, I agree. It's either yeah. You covered it. Like you covered it all. Um, yeah, no, it's just. I hope he's okay. First of all.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can hate on him and stuff, but like I would never want to hear that like I would never want to hear that like he or his family member is in like bad suffering
Yeah,
from like some kind of medical thing or accident and stuff. Like you don't wish that on anybody. So
yeah. Um. All right, my bad.
you're good.
I had a cricket in my throat or something, bro. Um, whatever the term they use. But preseason games happened. Week 1. This Chiefs game, bro. We'll start with that one. How did
Yeah.
you feel? Before we get to your thoughts, I have some highlights I took some notes on. I obviously didn't watch it all because I was working that day, but I did see some highlights. Justin Reed kicked, what was it, a field goal or a PAT? Um,
He kicked an extra point right down the middle over the net. It was awesome.
yeah, he kicked a PAT, so that's so hard. Um,
Yeah.
Mahomes also looked great in his only drive.
Oh yeah.
That's
Fantastic.
yeah, that's the only notes I took. Give me some of your thoughts.
Yeah, so before I give my thoughts, I just saw something today. So Butker has a sore ankle right now. So guess who was with special teams kicking field goals at practice today?
That is crazy.
We do have a backup kicker in case something happens to Harrison Butker. Like last year he got COVID, so he was actually out at the game I was at. So we had like a guy that we signed. Like
Bro, I
he
don't.
wasn't signed with anybody. or maybe he was doing stuff with practice squad. But we had a backup kicker, and he wasn't bad. I think he missed a couple of like field goals from 40 plus. He drilled all the PATs. Wasn't bad, but like now if Butker gets COVID again or something, we have a backup kicker. It's our starting safety. That's crazy.
It's gonna be scary.
That man can kick.
Yeah, he can.
He said he's comfortable with anything like inside, like he's comfortable with anything like within 45 yards or something. Is what he said. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, as a safety.
It's so cool though. I love it, man.
As a safety, that's crazy.
As a safety, like you just would not. Man, like he can kick. It's crazy. Like I said, he kicked it over the net. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
Like even if position players can kick, you don't see him like drill it over the net. You see him like make it halfway up the net, probably. Like that's 33 yards, and he kicked it over the net like a normal kicker would. Like it's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
Really cool though, man. We got a backup option if something happens to Butker. Like that's pretty epic.
Yeah, for sure. What other notes you got?
But yeah, going into my thoughts on the game. Obviously in these games, all you really care about is how the ones looked, and let's just be real. If the ones were in for both teams all game, if it was a regular season game, we would most likely shred them. Our first team offense drove them down the field. They chewed some clock. Like they didn't score super quickly. I think they chewed over 7 minutes. But like the goal is not to like. They're trying to run all kinds of different plays and mix it up, and that's what they did, and they scored. And yeah, Mahomes looked great. He looked. I think he completed every pass. I think he was 5 for 5 for like 60 yards or something on that drive. He was really good.
5 for 6 for 60.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's.
But that's still really.
Really solid.
Yeah.
Kelsey got open once for a 17-yard reception. You know, that sounds like Kelsey. He may get double teamed and stuff, but eventually he's going to get open for a big gain. So. Yeah. And Blake Bell ended up getting the touchdown, so that's good for him. I've always liked Blake Bell. He's from Wichita. He went to Bishop Carroll, so I've always rooted for him. Even though he went to Carroll, I know, Northwest. We don't like Carroll, but he's from Wichita playing for the Chiefs. That's just so awesome.
Yeah, bro.
I was so happy when we picked him back up and, he scored a touchdown against Houston in the playoffs. That was so cool.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
I'm glad that we still include him in our offense, Yeah. He's right. He's usually behind Kelsey for our number 2 tight end. He comes in the game when we're decided to go 2 tight ends.
Yeah, bro.
3 tight ends. When we only have a couple receivers in on a play, Bell's in there, and we find him at times, so that's good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the offense looked great. Our defense stopped the Bears, I think, pretty easily. I did hear that Fields had a solid. It wasn't super easily. The Bears drove for a while because I know that Justin Fields had an actually pretty solid drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, our ones look good. Our fourth string offense is absolutely terrible. It's laughable. I didn't laugh at us because I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm not gonna laugh at not even the fourth strings, but if I was a neutral, I would have been laughing at how bad our offensive line was for the fourth string and how bad our fourth string quarterback was, because they couldn't do anything. I don't even know his first name. His last name is Crum. Where's number 13? And he's just bad. He can run a bit, but he's in the pocket and he looks like he's just kind of stuck in the mud. And then that line could not block for. They couldn't pass block for anything. The Bears it didn't look like it was the fourth string Bears offense. You would have thought that they had their 1s or 2s in there just whooping all over our fourth string because it was bad. They got to play all second half. For some reason, I guess they're getting the most reps because they're most likely to not. That's who we really need to see the most reps from. Yeah, I like to see who can even make practice squads. Some of those guys won't make it at all. There's no reason to go on about it. It's no big deal. It's preseason. They're not going to touch the field in the regular season. But yeah, the second string, Chad Henne, we know is not all that bad. Not for he can't really be a starter, but he's not a bad backup.
Yeah.
Honestly, our practice squad quarterback Shane Buechele didn't look too bad either. Yeah. He was low-key throwing some dots. He threw a beautiful touchdown pass. So I believe Rashad Fenton. It was a great pass. It really was. He was throwing some dots. The only like, none of the defenses were too bad either. They actually kept it from being a blowout. So
Yeah.
good job to the defense all around. Yeah, third and fourth string offense not good, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, for sure. Um, On to our next little game we had. So I have three little games of notes that I have. Obviously, if you have more, throw them up in there. Um, but Kenny Pickett, he played really well, really, really well, and he won the game
It
for
was
him.
great.
Um, how did you think about that game?
Yeah, that's I didn't really get to. So I tried to like sign up for NFL Plus to watch this stuff, and it's all messed up. So like right now, everybody's trying to like pay the $5 a month to watch the preseason off market games, which is pretty much all of them. The only ones you can watch are like I got to watch the Chiefs game on regular TV because I live in the Chiefs area. If you live in the team's area, you can watch. Other than that, you have to go to NFL Plus, and it's not working. So like it'll think you haven't subscribed yet, tell you to like log into your account or whatever. It's just not working. That's a problem for pretty much everybody. So I didn't get to watch really a single snap of any playoff games except for the Chiefs game. I did hear that Pickett played well and had a nice drive at the end.
Yeah,
That's really good for him. Obviously, I don't like Trubisky. He was terrible in Chicago. It's crazy that he's their best quarterback right now. Like what in the world?
yeah,
Um, I wanted Pickett to do well. He has to ease in, obviously. Even if that was him whooping up on teams like third and fourth string defense and stuff, like so what? He's a rookie. Like
yeah,
he's a rookie. Like him going out there and balling out and playing really well. That's great for him. Like if he keeps that up, and Trubisky looks like crap, then like he's stirring up the pot a little bit again.
yeah,
And that's what I want him to do. Honestly, that's like I want to see more of that from Pickett. I want him to play well through the preseason, so he can at least be like the second string and like be out there. Like be
yeah,
out there on the field at least with a headset on or whatever the backup quarterback does.
yeah,
So yeah, that's really good for him.
yeah. No, for sure. Um, what's it called? So I have this other last little bit of notes for this game. It's not this game. It's another game. But Baker, he actually played really well. He actually played really well. I know Mello called it last episode, and for the most part, the most of our panel has also said Baker will do decently well in Carolina. Um, did you expect this? You think he'll do really well? You have any more notes on the Panthers, Baker, whatever?
Yeah, not really. I didn't get to watch that obviously.
Yeah,
Now I'm trying to see what his final score was actually. See, the Panthers won, and yeah, let's see. Obviously he wasn't in for very long.
yeah,
It was like their third string, but yeah, half four of seven for 45 yards. Like that's not too bad. He got more reps than Darnold, which actually that's bad. That means Darnold's starting him right now, most likely,
yeah,
because Darnold was only in for he completed two of three passes. Actually, maybe when Darnold was in, he just wasn't passing a whole lot. But
yeah,
I don't know. We don't really know who the starter is right now, I guess. But no, I want to see Baker start there, obviously. And I thought he wouldn't do too bad down there.
yeah,
Like we all know why we want to see him starting in week one. It's because he's playing like they play the Browns week one. Like we all want to get our popcorn ready for him to play the Browns. When the Browns are actually still paying him week one, which is hilarious. We've talked about that.
yup, yup,
Yeah, Baker should needs to keep it up because I don't want to see Sam Darnold out there in week one against the Browns. I want to see Baker Mayfield out there in week one against the Browns.
yeah, bro. It's I agree. They need to they better start Baker. Like it's
Yeah, they got to, man. Like, come on. Like, he could literally go out there and play how he did against the Chiefs in week one.
yeah,
He could drop 300 yards and four touchdowns because, like, it's a big FU to the Browns, Like,
I think Baker is actually like that, and people just is looking at him from last year only. But like Melo
I
said
mean,
in
he
the
was
most
like,
recent pod, he's not terrible, you know.
no, not at all. No, he was not. He was terrible.
He got the Browns to the playoffs again, bro.
Yep.
That has to mean something. Yeah, like now they got someone better, whatever. But he's not bad, you know.
No, he's definitely not bad. And like he was like not like fully healthy last year, right? Like
Yeah, no,
that
he was
first game, he was
hurt.
like 100%, and then after that, it was just not like he wasn't himself really.
Yeah,
Um, if he's himself and he's fully healthy, like he can go out there and play like he did in that Week 1 game against the Chiefs. Like Baker was no joke in that game. I was watching, I was like, man, he looks good. The Browns' offense looks really good. Like they could be something, and then it went downhill. But Baker, I could see Baker doing that, especially to the Browns in Week 1. Like, why wouldn't he want to go out there and just stick it to him? You know?
yeah. Um, for sure. Do you got any more games that you saw that you want to talk about, or?
Now, I just thought it was funny how the Patriots had a hype throw and catch for a touchdown at the end, and then the Giants drove and kicked a game-winning field goal. Yeah, I didn't really get to watch games. Like I heard stuff like Pickett doing well and all that. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I couldn't get NFL Plus to work, or I've been watching lots of games.
Yeah. Um, for sure. What's it called? Moving on to our last little bit of NFL thing that we got. We'll have one more question after this. It'll just be a little wrap up question, you know. But this is more of a little bit of a thinker. We were supposed to talk about this a couple weeks ago, so maybe you already have yours down. But offensive and defensive rookie of the year, who do you who do you have? Do you have it on the top of your head, or do you have to think
Oh
about
yeah,
it?
that's right. I do remember thinking about this. And I know who my definite prediction is for defensive rookie of the year. I'm going with Aiden Hutchinson. I think he is just like he was just a stud for Michigan. Like we knew he'd get drafted early on.
Yeah,
We knew he'd be like he was obviously the top D end, and we knew he'd be like one of the first defensive players drafted, if not the first. He was probably the first. Oh,
yeah,
he was naturally because that linebacker, whoever it was, went first overall, but he was up there, and the Lions drafted him, so he's up there. I think he was fifth overall. I don't remember what the Lions drafted, but he was really good.
second.
Was it second?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Lions were shit last year. Why I thought fifth. But anyways, Iowa somehow made it to the Big 12, no, the Big 10 championship game last year. Like a crazy Wisconsin had it and they choked at the end of the year, and then we got there. And Michigan blew us out of the water. They just showed how dominant they were and why they belonged in the playoffs. And Aiden Hutchinson we saw a lot of him. He's just so good at getting to the quarterback, and he can stop the run too.
yeah,
I just think he's going to fit in with Detroit really well. I think he's just going to he's like I've looked at other like predictions and stuff. Like if he's not number one, he's like up there at least in like second or third favorite. But for me, I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I can see it. My defensive player of the year is Sauce Gardner.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Um, I don't. I just the my only concern is because my offensive rookie of the year is Brees Hall. So it's just like
Mm,
I don't
I
know if
hope so,
they
man.
I don't know if they'd have two Jets win. But
Right.
that's who I don't see anyone else on the offensive side really winning it. I mean, yeah, you could throw Jameson Williams in there because I did say because Jared Goff hasn't been too bad, you know, like he's actually really good,
No.
but people sleep on him. So I think Jameson Williams could probably be that runner up or the rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. Who do you have
Yeah,
as your offensive?
man. At first, man, I thought that I thought that for offensive, if Pickett ended up starting in Pittsburgh, I thought he might have a shot.
Yeah.
But obviously, it doesn't look like that's the case. I hope Brees Hall can somehow. I really hope he like has some crazy year and wins it.
I think
I
he
don't
should.
mean to be biased, but with just how quick he is in our offense and him being a deep threat, replacing Tyreek Hill. I think I'm gonna go with Sky Moore.
Is he the one that got hurt, or was that Justin Ross?
Justin Ross got hurt.
Okay.
Sky Moore looked good in preseason. He was getting lots of in that game against Chicago. He had a beautiful toe tap near the sideline catch. It was awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to
Uh,
say one of them, but I didn't know which one got hurt. But
right.
but yeah, no, I could see it. I could 1,000% see it.
Yeah, man. Like that's just who I want to go with. Like,
You have Mahomes throwing it to you, bro.
yeah, exactly. And like, it doesn't seem like he's really getting like. I did see him get nominated as number one on one list.
Yeah.
I wasn't like stealing opinions from other lists. That's stupid. But I was curious to see like who was in the mix and stuff. I saw Moore at number one in one of them. I just looked at one and he was not on there at all. Brees Hall was number 9.
Brees Hall was a one and a couple I saw.
Yeah, but I think that was up there with like I think that was rookies overall because I saw offensive and defensive players.
Oh.
But yeah, you know what's interesting is the number one overall pick, Trevion Walker. I don't see people thinking he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. It's crazy, huh? You know, he's the number one overall pick, but it doesn't seem like people think he's going to do it. It must be because he's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like Detroit's number was the second worst, but it's like I could see him doing way better than they were last year.
Yeah,
Because you got Jamison
yeah, I can
Williams,
too.
um, Aiden
I definitely can
Hutchinson.
too.
But you got some
Yeah,
good people, bro.
yeah, they do, man. They do.
What's it called? Rounding this episode out, what was your favorite childhood snack? Like you'd come home from school
Ooh,
and you'd have a snack.
man,
What was it?
childhood snack. Let me think. Oh, I'm trying to think. I don't know why I can't think of something that I just like used to just grab all the time.
Me,
Just have it anytime.
it was like cheese sticks. That was one that
Okay.
is always big for me. Also crackers and cheese. That was
Ooh,
more
yeah.
that was more like, oh, I'm home now. I'm gonna make me something to eat real quick, and it was like some crackers and cheese. But like, yeah, grabbing something and dipping, yeah, it was definitely like a cheese stick. Um, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, bro?
Like honestly, the thing that's coming into the top of my head is like different chips. Like Ruffles was one of them for sure. That was a chip that I could just eat all the time. I'd always want my mom to bring some. Um, yeah, that's. I could tell you my brother's was. I'd say his was probably either veggie straws or saltine crackers for sure. I
That's
got into both of those.
that's such a
I got.
weird choice.
I know, man, but he used to eat those like crazy. It's. And while I got into it a little bit, I didn't. That wasn't something that I ate all the time.
Yeah,
I let a good like I like. I'll just say Ruffles because I could just eat a nice bag of chips like any given day as a kid while watching shows. And Ruffles was like my favorite chip when I was younger. So
yeah. I for sure, I could get down with some Ruffles, bro. Those are some nice chips.
yeah, man,
Um, but yeah, no,
I
that
definitely
pretty
still
much,
could too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that pretty much concludes the episode that we've been on for, as of right now, exactly an hour. The episode will probably be in like an hour or a minute, but what's it called? Yeah, no, if you guys are still watching it, leave it a like. Obviously, it's a little bit of a different episode. No Mello, no Andrew, but we're back to our little bit of roots that we started with, me and Case. But
yeah. I feel like we time traveled back in time. Like I feel like this has had the feel of like one of our first episodes. Honestly,
yeah, it really did, and I really hope it turned out smooth, just like the NBA episode, bro.
yeah.
Cause
Hopefully, Yeah, we're used to having more people on, but I still think it was a good episode.
Yeah. NBA episode will be live Friday morning, so stay tuned for that. Melo's doing his second host, but full time host. Not really. It was like part time host, but first time as that on Sunday. That'll be live on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave it a like, share it to your grannies. I want Casey's grandma's, granny's, cousin's, nephew to hear about it. Um,
Yeah, for sure, man.
yeah, I don't even know what the hell I just said, but yeah. Share it around, leave it a like, and stay tuned for some more episodes. Appreciate you guys all for watching.